Good morning, Shannon ma'am, and hello everyone. I'm Krishna Kulkarni, and I'm going to present in front of you the topic Staphylococcal gastroenteritis. The staphylococcal gastroenteritis is basically a foodborne illness which is caused by the ingestion of food contaminated with the bacteria Staphylococcus aureus. And the main causative agent for this illness to cause is by the enterotoxins which are produced by the bacteria. The contamination occurs mainly when the handlers or chef they touch like various body parts, particularly nose, or or they touch the surfaces of the kitchen, and then they handle the food or pack the food without washing their hands. So this causes the bacteria to get transmitted from their hands to the surface of the food product. The food basically which are involved in the carrying of these pathogenic bacteria are protein rich foods, particularly including meat, dairy, sandwiches, poultry, and pastries. If the food is not stored properly in the refrigerator at proper temperatures, or even if they are kept outside at the room temperature for periods of time, it could lead to the growth of the bacteria on the surface of the food, which eventually start producing the enterotoxins. The properties of Staphylococcus aureus, the bacteria, are as follows. The bacteria grows over a wide range of temperature, right from 10 to 50 degrees Celsius. Although the optimal temperature for the growth of the bacteria, where they multiply rapidly and also produce the enterotoxins, is 30 to 40 degrees Celsius. Also, the pH range and the water activity also matters a lot. The pH, the food, if it is in the range of pH between 5.3 to 7, is ideal for the growth of the bacteria, and the water present in the uh, food, which is the water activity, if it is between 0.87 to 0.99, it is ideal for the growth of the bacteria to grow on the food product. The enterotoxins. So what are enterotoxins? These are the basically um, the toxins which are produced by the bacteria when they start proliferating on the food product. There are around 15 types of enterotoxins produced by the bacteria, and and these enterotoxins are heat stable. Even the digestive enzymes in the gut also fail to, to destroy these enterotoxins. The severity of this illness, it depends on the amount of food which is ingested by the person, the amount of toxins which are present in the food, and the health of the victim in general, and also the age. Mainly the children and elderly persons and the ones who are immunocompromised are the ones who suffer the most and are easily susceptible to the uh, bacterial actions. The incubation period uh, for the bacteria is between 30 to 8 hours. The incubation period is basically the time period from when the food is ingested, uh, like the contaminated food is ingested, to the time when the symptoms starts appearing in the body. The This period is the one wherein the symptoms start appearing in the form of vomit, uh, and some loose motions, and also some diarrhea, etc., which I'll be discussing later. And the digestive enzymes uh, in present in the stomach, they they can destroy these Staphylococcus aureus bacteria by their acidic nature, but they fail to uh, act on the enterotoxins which are produced by the bacteria. The duration of the illness uh, uh, usually lasts 1 day and can sometimes go for 2 to 3 days. But the severity of the illness is rare, as this illness can be like easily treated by the use of like by the consumption of water rich in electrolytes, or also by consuming food which are low in fiber, such as banana, rice, apples, etc. The pathogenesis of this particular bacteria. So the food poisoning is caused mainly due to the enterotoxins which are produced by the bacteria. The enterotoxins act as a super antigen in the intestine. These super antigens basically they trigger the T cells, which are immunity based cells. So these T cells are triggered when the super antigens appear in the intestine, and these cells eventually produce inflammatory mediators, which are cytokines, called as cytokines. These cytokines they lead to the lack of absorption of the food and water from the epithelial cells. As they get deposited on the epithelial cells, they block the absorption of water and food. So due to this lack of absorption of food and water, the food eventually passes out of the intestine as diarrhea, which is the unabsorbed food and water. The symptom and the duration uh, is around, like as I discussed, around 1 day, and it can last to around 2 to 3 days. And the symptoms basically which appear are nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, abdominal pain, and also sometimes mild fever appears. The prevention of this disease can be taken taken up by following some of the practices. So, like certain precautionary measures can be taken up, such as avoiding pasteurized milk, avoiding consuming of pasteurized milk, washing the hands and fingernails nails thoroughly before cooking, eating, packing, or even serving food, maintaining clean and sanitary conditions for food preparation, and the storage of food products like over 60 degrees Celsius, and cold foods to be stored around at uh, at 4 degrees Celsius to cool the foods. And also, it's recommended that the people who are wounded uh, and have sores on their hands should avoid cooking foods, uh, because it's like easily like contaminated by the bacteria and can even transmit the bacteria. And also these people should uh, like wash their hands thoroughly before uh, cooking the food. The events of the staphylococcal illness uh, which have occurred are many. However, I have researched about one of the events which occurred in Italy, which has been quite famous one. This event of outbreak of staphylococcal food poisoning occurred on August 28, 2015 in Umbria, Italy, which affected around 24 out of 42 customers who had dinner in that local restaurant. About 3 hours after ingesting a variety of foods, the customers started getting those symptoms. Uh, and within 24 hours of notification from the hospital, the sanitary inspectors from the public health unit around, they came for the investigation. A study was conducted among the customers, and also the samples from various food particles, food products, and also environmental conditions were taken. And due to the rapid onset of the symptoms, the food samples were analyzed from the presence of for the presence of the toxigenic bacteria and their toxins. Uh, the nasal swabs, the samples from the nasal passage, that is nasopharyngeal swabs, were collected from the waiters and cooks. And among the food tested, uh, high levels of positive staphylococci and staphylococcal enterotoxins were detected only in the particular dessert, which was chantilly cream dessert. The bacterial strains were also detected on the surface of the kitchen table, and five food handlers were tested positive for the bacteria. In total, 5 S. aureus isolates were recovered from these food handlers, uh, from the which are the kitchen, like some kitchen staff, and also from the kitchen surface and from the desert. This investigation also suggested that the dessert was kept outside the room temperature, outside at the room temperature for about 5 hours, which led to the contamination. The prevention measures which could be taken to avoid this uh, spread of the bacteria would be the dessert should have been, like, properly stored in the refrigerator for about 4 degrees Celsius. The food handlers should have washed their hands and nails before uh, like cooking or even serving the food, and the surfaces of the kitchen and the surrounding should have been kept clean, and also should have been sanitized to avoid such situations. So, for the conclusion, I would like to say that Staphylococcus uh, infection remains one of the most common foodborne diseases in the world. This pathogen uh, is the like most commonly found, and when ingested, uh, and this ingestion of the uh, enterotoxins causes all the uh, illness to occur. And prevention of the Staphylococcus uh, pathogen is based on the hygiene practices to avoid or reduce contamination of the food by the bacteria. These procedures must include control of raw materials, proper handling, cleaning, disinfectant of equipment from farm to fork. Staphylococcal food poisoning is widely spread around the world, but is frequently underreported because the illness is relatively mild, and some control strategies are complicated by the fact that enterotoxin producing staphylococci do not always share the same phenotypic pattern as others. However, several methods, including physical or chemical treatment and even application of certain natural antimicrobial agents, and also by following certain practices, this approach can be like very well taken care of and can be avoided. Thank you.